Food for thought. Learn quickly from failure. Fail quick and learn quicker. Fail hard, learn hard. I don't know. Whatever you want to put it, however you really see it. When you fail, when you do not have a successful outcome as you imagined, learn from it. In life, I wouldn't say it is, but like in life, it is so easy to continue to stumble throughout life and not go anywhere. But it's completely normal to stumble and at least stumble forward. One of my professors from college, he's like my advisor, he said, fail forward. I know I've said this, I think, one time in my video, but fail at least going forward. Because then you learn, or it's like the metaphor that you learn, and that every single step of the way you can learn from it, especially failures. Failures stick with us because they do not feel good. And we specifically remember why we failed, what we failed about, and how we could do better. And I forget who it was. I always say that, but maybe it was like Stephanie. I can see her face, but I don't know her last name. She's like a really big influencer in like businesses and entrepreneurial, but I know I said this as well, but she said that her mentor wasn't good because he was good at things. He was good because he failed so many times and learned from them quicker than anybody else. And so that's what I'm saying when you need to fail quickly and learn quicker, because every single misstep is another step, or like another way that you can learn how to make steps. Like, for example, if you're trying to train your reaction time, it might be really slow at first. You can't really grab that thing off that shelf, or you didn't really, I don't know how you train agility or like reaction time other than like practicing. But let's say, for example, you see a falling vase, whatever you want to call it, and you like try to go for it, but then it breaks and it shatters and you're like, crap. So then you learn to have quicker reflexes, and the next time an apple falls from a tree, you catch it. I don't know, whatever. But I'm just saying that every single time you fail, you can learn from it. Literally, oh my goodness gracious. So I had to do training for this internship before I could actually start my job internship. And the first day that I actually start working, I had to do a project over again because I didn't do it right. And like there were so many like miscommunications. And from then on, I learned how to communicate and how to label my things. Another time, I was working inside this like little space, and I had to close the container, and I thought this container was closed. And so then it accidentally fell over, and like my mentor, like the person I'm working under, was right behind me, and he's like, great, that wasn't closed. And I was like, oh, I thought it was closed. He's like, obviously not. And I'm like, and so now I'm very like proactive about closing my containers. And then I'm trying to think of what else I did wrong. That's just like the top of it. And I've done so many other things wrong. And the thing is, when I was wrong and when I was corrected, I think this gives you a different perspective on what most people would say, would be for you to say, thank you for letting me know. Thank you for the correction. Thank you. I will do that next time. Because so many people will put up their defenses and be like, I didn't know that. I'm so sorry. It's not my fault. I didn't know. But it's so important to take responsibility, thank them for the lesson, and then move forward. And that is just a step of learning how to fail forward, is that you take your mistake and you're thankful for that learning opportunity. Maybe not thankful for that mistake, but thankful for that learning opportunity, and then you go forward. Then you move on. And yeah, I know I mentioned this before, but there's so many times this year during my lab, I literally screwed up the entire experiment for me and my lab partner, and we both had to go into separate groups that were like ahead of us. And I learned to read the instructions more clearer, read the instructions more thoroughly. And yeah. And then another time I was also working in this thing, and I was working with like something that was like not very healthy and like could like cause like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like it just shouldn't be exposed to fire and or like hot temperatures. And like I turned on like a heater, and I was like, and I walked to my mentor and I was like, I saw this thing and I thought the instruction said 95 degrees. And then he was like, I don't think so. I don't think anything needs like to be like that hot. And then I reread the instructions and it said it's supposed to be put on 25 degrees Celsius. And I was like, oh my gosh. And he was like, yeah, next time don't do that, because you need to put the temperature probe in, because then the heating pad will like heat too much. And then I was like, great. And yeah, so I'm not doing that. And in the moment it sucked, because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just trying so hard at this. But now I'm looking back and thinking that they're just mistakes, and I'm just learning, and I'm failing forward, and I'm learning from my failures. And I wouldn't even necessarily classify them as failures, because failures I feel like has such a negative connotation. And in reality, you can just move forward. And it's never fun to have bad experiences like that, because then that kind of sets the tone. And oh, another one. So I'm just trying to get across the point that like I fail so badly. I make so many mistakes, but I try to learn from them. Because the other day I was trying to use this machine, and I was trying to set it to a certain setting, but you have to do X, Y, and Z. And then this guy, who works there, like was like took over, and I was like, okay, cool. And then like he didn't do one of the X, Y, or Z's, and then it like broke the machine. And so then I felt bad that I thought I broke the machine. And then moving forward, I'm just like extra careful, more thorough, and it's all about failing forward. And I want you to know it's normal to fail. Because my mentor, he was like, I expect you to fail and make mistakes. I think mistakes is a better word than fail. But I expect you to make mistakes, just not expensive ones, or ones that cost too much money. And sure enough, I've made plenty of mistakes during the first, this is my 4th Monday at the internship. I think I'll be posting this like a little later, probably Thursday, I think. But yeah, it's my 4th Monday here, and this is only week 4, and I have a hot second left. And I'm hoping that I can take all these lessons and move forward. And I hope you can do the same thing. Maybe we're not doing the same thing. Maybe we aren't even in the same genre of work and internships, or even life. But that doesn't mean you can't fail forward, because that doesn't mean that you still can't take your experiences from your past and use them to help guide you for the future. Because what is to say that you can't improve? Who is to say that you can't get better? Unless it's yourself. And you are your limiting belief. And you just need to believe in yourself that you can get through this, and that you can do it, and that you can use these lessons, these hard lessons learned at your age. I don't care how old you are, because the saying is, an old dog can learn new tricks. doesn't matter. Your brain has elasticity. It can learn. It will learn forever. And so you have every capability to fail forward. So do not doubt your capabilities or your even abilities to do something bigger than yourself. Whether your bigger than yourself is just in your, I don't know, town, home, yourself even, or if it's on a global scale, it doesn't matter. As long as you can learn from your actions that didn't go to plan and use them for your future self, that's all that matters. So all you have to do is learn quick, fail forward, and learn from your past mistakes. And that is all you have control of, and that's all you can truly do. Food for thought.